Well, hello there and welcome back to the channel. It's your girl Stace in the place, and today we are going to be going over Bath & Body Works' latest scent, Luminous. So before we jump in, and while I struggle to take this paper off, take a hot second to like and subscribe to the channel. Hit that little notification bell so you can be in the know when I'm over here dropping videos, because you don't want to miss out on the foolishness that is getting ready to happen in this video. So I'm gonna throw this trash away real quick and let's get into this. So I have not smelled this at all. I have no idea. This is truly gonna be like straight up blind smelling, and I'm super nervous, y'all, because the streets are talking and the streets are like, this side of the street is like, oh, it smells good. It smells like something else. It smells like dahlia. It smells like Into the Night with a little bit of pizzazz. And then the middle of the street is like, oh, it smells nice, but it's not really a thing for me, but it could be for other people. It might smell a little bit mature, And then we have on the other side, and the streets are like, absolutely not. Somebody need to put it in 2-week notice because it's a no. And why is it so strong? Because I feel like I'm getting choked out. When I tell y'all, I am not ready for this. I am not ready for this. So before I open this monstrosity, well, I shouldn't even call it monstrosity because I don't even know. Let's not have bias. Let's just be open-minded. Let's kick it off with the keynotes, which are Ruby Currant, Gilded Iris, and Praline Amber. And so Ruby Currant, that gives me like the idea that's going to be a little fruity-ish, but not like super fruity, if that makes absolutely any sense to anyone. Also, I'll say the Iris gives me like the idea that it's going to be like a powdery floral, like think like baby powder, Chanel No. 5-ish, like those powdery vibes. And then the Praline Amber, in my mind, like praline is kind of like nutty dessert, and amber is kind of like sweet. Like whenever I think of amber, I think of almost like a amaretto sour, or just amaretto, where it's like, it's deep, it's dark, but it's sweet, and it's just, it really gives you this idea of like comfort with like sweetness. And so in my mind, I'm like, somebody might could pull this off. It might could smell good. It sounds a little weird, the things that are paired together, but you never know. So let's see. Oh my gosh, I'm nervous. Okay, that's 2 sprays. I own myself. I guess I should have sprayed a card or something. I don't know. Let me grab a card real quick from my little from my little pickup bag. Okay, so I definitely smell it. Oh, wow. Okay. Interesting. Let's see. So I sprayed it on this card, and I've also sprayed it on my wrist. And I'm just like letting it air a little bit, because you don't want to like just jump in and be all nose deep and all you're going to get is alcohol. Let's see. Okay. So first things first, I remember seeing someone try to say that it smells like Victor and Rob's Flower Bomb. That's an abomination. Please don't say that again. Please don't. On this card, I feel like I don't really smell much. It smells like fruity, from that Ruby Currant, and it has like this air of sweetness that like kind of reminds me maybe of that like that benzoin-ish vibe that comes from like Baccarat Rouge 540 or Burberry Her. It reminds me of that, or gives me that idea of that feeling and those scents that it provokes, but it doesn't smell like that, if that makes any sense. Where I'm like, I don't know, if I had to put them as 2 different animals, I would say like one's a chicken and one's a duck. Like they're of kind of like the same genre vibes that hang out, but like the duck and the chicken, they might be considered birds, but like you can clearly tell the difference between a duck and a chicken, a live one, if you see it. I don't even know why I went off on that tangent. Anyways, let's get to the real thing. So I don't know. I mean, sniffing it on my arm is not as bad as I was mentally preparing myself for, because I was like, y'all, we finna do powdery iris with fruit and something super sweet. Like, that just sounds like the melting pot of like fragrances to me, where it's just like, you're like, oh yeah, we're gonna do a little something, like, you know, people like it sweet, they like a little bit of fruit, and you know, we gotta catch up with the fresh girls, so we're gonna put a little bit of freshness in there, a little bit of floral, and you're like, that sounds like a heap of mess. But it's not a mess, but it's like a pot of jambalaya. It's like a paella. It's a melting pot. It's a melting pot on my wrist. I don't know. I'm sorry. It's strong. Like, that's one thing about it. One thing about it, let me tell you. This baby is strong on the skin. It may not be super strong on the paper, but it's super strong on the skin. Wow. And I keep like wincing because it's not the alcohol from the spray, but it's something in this that when I like go to sniff it or inhale it, it's like it tickles the sensory nodes or nerves that are like in the back of your nostrils, and it's like, ooh, like it kind of, I don't know, it kind of, ooh, I don't know. So off gate, it doesn't smell like dahlia. I'm sorry, I don't feel like it does. I think that this is going to be one of those scents where, here, let me put on the other one too. I think this is going to be like one of those scents where some people are able to pick up on certain scents or certain fragrance notes, and other people pick up on different ones. And so because it's such a mix and a melting pot of fragrances, I feel like it's going to be a mixed bag of reviews. The packaging alone is like cute. It's very fall, like with the, would you call like pinkish burgundy? Like, it's very fall with the gold, and it's luminous. So you think like, oh, it's light, it's airy, it's like bringing things to the foreground. And the strength of this with the projection and the sillage alone, like, is bringing it. Okay, I don't know how long it's gonna last, but if you want to perfumey scent, and you feel like all the scents before, like, you know, they were kind of mild or mid, honey, you get this. This is gonna blow your nostrils off. I'm telling you right now. Oh my gosh, like, it's just so overpowering when you smell it up close. I'm getting benzoin for some reason, like that weird, like, tingly vibe that you get from Zara's Red Temptation or Baccarat Rouge 540. It's in Burberry Herb, but it's not as strong as it is in those other two fragrances. Or I wouldn't say that it isn't as strong, but it's not as prominent of a note. And benzoin, just in case I'm just talking and everybody's like, what is that? What are you talking about? It reminds me of that scent or that feeling of when you walk into the dentist's office and they use fluoride and formaldehyde, all that little stuff, all that medicine-y smell when you walk into there. And I feel like as a kid, I smelled it more than I do now when I walk into a dentist. I don't know if they got air purifiers in there or what, but it's like that. There's just that, like that smell that you pick up when you walked in there. Like, that's that's the thing, or that's the scent that I'm talking about, or the fragrance note that I'm talking about. I don't know, y'all. I mean, I feel like it could smell nice, but it's not a scent that I am like, oh my gosh, I need the perfume. Like Chasing Fireflies, I need to get the full size perfume whenever it goes on sale or whenever they have a 40% off sale. But like this one, it's so strong. And I don't know, I'm curious. We'll ask the husband what he thinks when he gets home about it, because it's just, it's so strong, the way that, like, whatever note that is so offensive to my nose whenever I try to take a sniff of it. It's so strong that it makes me like not want to smell it or not get close to it. So I'm curious to see, I'm going to play around with it, but I'm going to say, y'all, like, when you go to the store, if you got $8 and you're just like, yo, like, this fragrance is causing so much controversy, like, for $8, I'm finna risk it all and just try it, like, sure. But honestly, if you can smell this before you buy it, like, please smell it before you buy it, because we all know the return policy is a little shaky sometimes. It depends on how you returning it. I'm not saying use up half the thing and return it, but like, if you get it and you spray it on a couple of times and you're like, oh, please return it. Don't, because this is very polarizing. It's very polarizing. That's the nicest way that I can say it. It's very strong. If you want a strong fragrance, this is it. If you want to know what exactly it smells like a woman who loves fruity scents and like smelling sweet stuff, and she might be pre-diabetic, and she is sitting in the dentist's office, and you're there to pick her up, and that's what it smells like. Like if she just sprayed on a whole bunch of fruity, sweet smelling perfume, like if Prada Candy had a whole like bunch of fruit with it and she sprayed it all over herself, and she just got finished at the dentist appointment, you just walked into the dentist's office to pick her up, that's what this smells like. I'm sorry, I know it sounds crazy, it sounds wild. It's an experience, and I cannot wait to see what other people are going to say about this, because when I tell y'all, this is going to be the scandal of the fall. Here, I thought that maybe she would be the diamond of the season, but honey, she ain't the diamond. She's scandalous, okay? She's the one out here writing up the papers about everybody and their drama, because this girl is talking, all right? So I'm going to play around with it a little bit more for the next 2 days or so, and then I will pop back on and give you guys my thoughts after playing with this. Hopefully it doesn't choke me out. We shall see. But thanks for checking out the video, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye.